Hi, it's Wasabi. Welcome back to the channel. We're on Erlenberg and we've got Nomad from IDK clan. He's in the Char Mle 75, the tier 9 French light tank. It's a premium tank. You can get through the battle pass tokens. It's got that unusual gun. So you can see 2 slots on there, but it actually fires 3 shells per slot. So each time you press the firing button, you'll get 3 shots out. There's a way, well there was a way originally to sort of go single shot mode, but it takes a bit of to get the single shots out, but I think we're going to see that in this game. Alright, it's got a fairly forward position here. It is a standard battle, so we've got 15 minutes and 2 caps. Alright, Borsig has gone very far forward. He's tracked. Is he going to survive this? Doesn't look good. He's used his repair kit. No, he's being taken by Char Mle. So there's the first 3 shots go in. Does get spotted, but they're focusing on the Borsig, who has been sent back to the garage. So yeah, a minute into the game and you're basically smashed, sent back to the garage. Not a great feeling. And to lose a Borsig, I think, is particularly embarrassing. It's seen a lot of Borsig games that have really dominated. So in any case, this Char Mle here, he's lost a few shots, but in this case, Nomad doesn't need to fire on him. He's sent back to the garage himself. So that does equalise a little bit, but losing a medium tank like the Borsig, yeah, not a great option. Alright, so he's on the reload now. Does have a fairly long reload, it's around about 40 seconds, so it's maybe not quite that long, I might be mistaken there, but nonetheless, it is a fairly long wait. Like any auto loader, you've got to have a safe place to hang out while you're reloading. Alright, minus 3 there. So not quite proxy spotting range, but it could be a target for him to come in and put a few shots into. He's spotted here now. Who's spotting him? Is that proxy spotting him? Yes, that's proxy spotting. So you can go after it now. The IS-3 is gone, but possibly get a shot on the Caliban. No, is he not coming past? Oh, there he is. Fires his 3 shots and gets 1 shot in. So this is sort of the trade-off you get with this gun, that you can't quite control where the shots go, but nonetheless he's hanging onto the second slot here, and maybe he can put a further shot in. His team's falling back a bit. They are 3 tanks down and a fair chunk of damage in the difference. So can he punish this IS-3 if he comes forward? He's asking the Ho-Re to pull back, just to make sure that he can draw the enemy further back towards him. Okay, looks like the Ho-Re may be doing that, so he's pulling back. Alright, he's only got his 3 shots, so he's going to put them in, and I was going to say try and stay out of the way of the gun of the enemy, but he does get punished there. But that's the price you pay to get your shots off, particularly at that range. So he pulls back while he's reloading. And his team's now 5 tanks down, so this is looking pretty sad right now, but it doesn't mean it's unrecoverable. They've definitely lost the middle there. That Ho-Re is pretty much by himself now. So Nomad coming up here to just make a bit of a nest that he can cover the cap area, thinking that yes, it's going to fall down. He's concerned with re-roll in his M53-55, so he can get some support there, but nonetheless that Ho-Re is potentially in trouble, and there's not a whole lot he can do about it really.
Fall back from there. I need help.
Retreat up the hill gets spotted and attacked. But, no one coming out that Nomad can see right now. Now there's 7 tanks down. So this is going to be able to recover from here. It's the point in the game. You don't necessarily make a decision about whether you're going to continue, of course, because you've got to fight to the end, but you might just think that yes, you don't have much time left in the game at this point. But they've still got to come further down. Okay, here we go. Type 68 finally goes out in the open, and here we go, the Turtle 1. Now he doesn't want to fire just yet, he wants the Borsig who's on the other side to try and pick him up. And in fact, there he goes. So the Borsig takes out the Turtle, and his teammate in the arty takes out the 703-2. So alright, so that's good. Pulled a couple of kills back. Now this Type 68, so Nomad can go after him. Gets actually 2 shots out of that 3 shots in, and goes for the second lot, and bang bang bang. And in fact, the Progetto finishes him off. So good bit of work there, and that's starting to close the gap here. So this is the final step that the enemy's got to cover. They've got pretty much map coverage, but they've got to break the stronghold here, and that could be hard to do. And if they go out in the open like this, that might be their problem. Now you can't fire on that Leopard PTA just yet, so he hasn't got reload, but just see the gun bloom coming down slowly. Gets some arty splash to his credit, and now he's going to fire some shots in. They've got a pretty good idea where Nomad is sitting, but I guess they can't do a whole lot about it. The Leopard PTA out in the open there, but he's gone dark. It's right at the edge of view range, so it's not surprising. Oh, he takes a blind shot from the IS-3, who did take a good guess as to where he was, but still got 400 hit points, so he can survive long in the game. But decides to use more of the mount to protect himself from that direction. Okay, now there's someone on the hill. So can the Progetto fight him off? No, it's his 52Ls, and in fact the Borsig does all the damage. But unfortunately the Leopard PTA finishes off the Progetto, and now the Leopard PTA is coming after the Borsig. Luckily the Borsig is full health, so he can take a hit too, but hopefully well, in fact he kills him, so that is good work there by the Borsig. Takes out the Leopard PTA. Alright, so now it's only 3 tank advantage from the enemy, and there's a few tanks we haven't seen, but now we can see Progetto 46 on the minimap advancing right down on the west side, and the Char Mle also being spotted, the Borsig falling back a little bit, but not a whole lot Nomad can do about that when he's got the IS-3 and potentially the Caliban and Vipera coming down on his side. There's the Char Mle. Now if you can get Dart, doesn't need to. In fact, the Borsig takes him out. There's still plenty of time left in this game, 6 minutes to go. Unfortunately, the IS-3 takes out the Borsig, so clearly the Borsig was lit there and the IS-3 was in a position to shoot across. Now, what does that tell you about where the IS-3 is? Looks like he's moved a bit further across. Nomad just unsure whether he can move out of this spot or not. And in fact, here goes his arty. Progetto goes in. Can he get rid of the Progetto, or at least take some damage out of him? IS-3, and he's not going to fire at him, but hopefully the Borsig will back him up. In fact, it's a good thing in this particular range with the Borsig's on the other side of the map, but the enemy's not coming down that side, so... Alright, this Caliban's been spotted. Just being very careful to use his vision here and CVS that he's running. And spot targets for the Borsig as much as possible. Borsig takes out the IS-3. So it picks up some spotting damage there. There's the Caliban, and Borsig takes out the Caliban. Now here comes the Udes, so there you go. Artie comes in and stuns him, so the Artie knows there's a good chance that he's here. He puts some shots into the Udes without getting spotted. And the Udes is coming up here, is really pushing to get on there, and the Borsig takes him out. So things are now fairly even. We've got the Progetto that's been spotted across the map there. The Vipera we haven't seen a whole lot of, and of course the Artie will be at the back. So Nomad on the rewind here, and we know where the Artie is. He's right over there at sort of J1 side of things. But he took a chunk out of Nomad and probably got a pretty good idea Nomad is to here. Four minutes to go. And just sort of relying on the enemy to make the mistakes here. And the Artie pushing along to where the Borsig is likely to be. And here comes the Progetto. And he's staying low, so that no chance for the Borsig to shoot at him. And there's trees going down, that'll be the Vipera. And here he comes. Puts one lot in, and he should get his next set of shells. In fact, he gets the kill there with the first of the next of the 3 clip. Now comes the Progetto pushing, so he needs to sort of dance around here, avoid the Artie, and let the Borsig take out the Progetto. The Borsig does put a hit into the Progetto. Borsig's on reload, he takes a hit from the Progetto, but he'll be on reload by the time he comes back. But no, nonetheless, the Borsig takes him out, and now it is game over. It is just the artillery left, and 2.5 minutes to go, or nearly 3 minutes, so we know where the artillery is, so we can finally get the win here. So pretty tense standoff there, but it was all a matter of keeping your cool and making sure that you didn't get spotted as much as possible. Now he lines up the artillery, gets the kill, so that gives 2 kills to Nomad. The Borsig's got a top gun. Hey, let's go and look at the details. In the end, 4.4k of damage and another 3.4k of assisted damage there, so it's 7.8k of combined. It's a great result there. Only the 2 kills, but that wasn't the intention. But he has picked up the Confederate reward, the high caliber reward, and the patrol duty medal there, and the ace tanker badge. So let's have a look at the team score. So he's finished 1491 base experience there, great level there. The Borsig picking up second place there with 1102 and doing nearly 4k of his own. So great support there from the Borsig player. And on the enemy side, the IS-3 actually came out on top with experience. Probably has a bottom tier tank, of course, picking up a bit of extra EXP there, but 720 base in a losing team is not a bad result there, as the 103 came pretty close as well, and those 2 pretty much carried their team by the looks of it. Let's have a look at the details here. So 33 shots fired, 24 hits and 21 penetrations, and he did spend a fair bit on ammunition, so luckily he had the platoon bonus, always a good sign to see, plus personal reserves and a mission completion, so he ended up making actually a very nice profit at a tier 9 game, 190,000 credits. It was best game there for Nomad in that tank, and I think it's a pretty tricky tank to play, so congratulations. Thanks for supplying the content as well. Hopefully, if you're watching this and you learned something about how to play the Char Mle 75, please give the video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, that's an option for you. A lot more great content to follow. Thanks very much for watching.